Hello! Now we are going to start with G16 and G17. These are the circle that goes around one of the beautiful stars in your first month. And because I have many of those circles, and it really makes a difference if you know how it works and also how precise you can work to make it work in your quilt. So what we do, we have freezer paper and we have the templates. I already pre-cut the templates roughly from the piece. Between in G16 you have a couple of start points, so take them out before you go on. You can leave this one here, that is okay. So what we do now, I use regular glue. I think it's old, but it will work. So I'll glue my piece, especially the seam allowances. I think it's almost dying, this glue. I hope it will work. I don't use it often, I guess. Okay, but it's just for the good course. I think there's a lot of glue on my fingers, so it probably will work. Are the circles hard to do? I don't think so, but like all my quilts, you have to work precise. So, and glue it to the paper side of the freezer paper. If you take a close look to your freezer paper, you do have a shiny side, that's this one here, and a paper side. So, we glue it to the paper side of the freezer paper. And our next step, you cut it roughly from the piece. You do the same with G16. I think I've done this before. Okay, so this is what we have. Glue your template to the paper side of the freezer paper. If it's possible, leave the centerpiece in place, makes it a lot easier. And then, I already cut this. There is my fabric piece. This is the wrong side of the fabric. Don't ever make the mistake, because it is an asymmetrical quilt. So it is the wrong side of the fabric that you're going to use for all your separate pieces. Okay. The shiny side will stay when we iron the piece. The shiny side will stay onto your fabric. So you can see that piece of 17 by 17 inch is nice and generous enough for us to work. Okay, it has to be nice and flat. I take my time. I really want that my freezer paper will really stay onto my piece. Oh, that's a strange noise, but it has nothing to do. Okay. You do the same with G16. That is the smaller circle. I already have the fabric cutouts. My next step, I will cut her exactly on the outside line. And I do not have to worry that she will move or slip. Cut her on the outside line. And maybe you notice that we do have a second seam allowance on the outside of this circle as well. And do you know why? Do you know why we have that second seam allowance in one of those circles? No? When we attach the circle in a circle, it will always grab fabric from the outside. And when you do not have a little bit of wiggle room, it creates a problem you don't want. And again, it's just with the stars, that little bit of extra fabric, it really makes a difference to make small adjustments if needed. So, okay, stay exactly on the line. And now you cut the inside. This is important. The seam allowance in a quilt is in fact just as important as the outside, because when your seams are not perfect, the quilt won't be perfect either. And here you can see we do have that beautiful circle that we need. Now try to locate a pen. Okay. We have the marks here. The marks on the inside are important because they will match with the marks of G16. And in G16 they are important because they will match with the star that we have made, because every star point seam will match the marks here in G16, and these marks will match here. So the marks are an essential thing. There are several ways that you can do this. You can do it to cut a little tiny cut. It's about 1/8 of an inch. That's more than enough. Don't go deeper into your seams. You create problems you don't want. You can see it's about 1/8. The marks on the inside, they are important. At the moment, not on the outside, because we do have that second seam allowance and we have to go back for them. But for the inside, we need them, and they have to be on the exact place, and it's about 1/8 of an inch. I think we have them all, so don't do anything on the outside, but the marks here, about 1/8 of an inch. Remove your freezer paper very gentle from your fabric. The reason, we have a lot of bias, we don't want to stretch it. This is not something that try to find a little beginning. There it is. Remove it very gentle from the fabric. Don't throw your template away because we need it. After we have assembled the star G15, the circle G16 and G17 together, we have to go back with the templates. Okay, so keep it aside. And there is our beautiful circle. Perfect condition without any problems. You do the same with G16. Glue her to the paper side of your freezer paper. Cut her roughly. Iron her to the wrong side of fabric 3. Cut her exactly on the outside lines. Bring the marks onto the fabric. You can use a pen, you can use that little small cut in your seam allowance, and remove her very gentle from the fabric. And then we can start assembling.